Hello friends, welcome back to TD Homestead. Today's video was just going to be a video showing where some of the trees we've propagated through cuttings were, the progress they've made. But when I was out here checking out the pomegranates, we've had a couple of days of heavy rain. I noticed a couple of them ain't looking that great to me. Like this one right here, starting to get that dark color on the bottom. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, and that just means it's ripe. Could mean it's overripe. I don't want to miss out on them, but here you see that one's trying to crack. And then I went over here on this other tree and got to looking at it. And after we've had all this rain, it's split. And right there I can see the fruit exposed in there. So hopefully this one ain't ruined. We didn't wait too long. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest it now, and we're gonna open it up on camera and see what it looks like. I harvested one a couple of weeks ago, and it was not quite ready yet. It had just started to show some signs of turning red on the inside, but from what I can tell right there, it looks like this one might be. We'll just have to see. This is the first year they've fruited for us, so I hadn't been sure when to pick them. Anyway, I'm gonna pause the camera and cut this off the tree, and then we'll walk around over here to the garden, and I'll show you some stuff we got going on over there as well. All right, we got it off the tree. Now let's walk around here over where some of our container trees are and the vegetable garden is. And first, let's just walk and take a quick look at some of the citrus that we have fruiting. Some of it's starting to break color and ripen. So this Meyer lemon here, it's getting close to being ripe. It made a little bit earlier than the rest of the Meyer lemons on that tree, but you can see plenty of Meyer lemons on that tree. And so that's a tree we purchased from Park Seed in 2022. So got a decent harvest coming on that. Here's some of the ones that aren't right. Comparison to this pomegranate, about the same size. Pomegranate might be a little bit bigger. Here is our Lisbon lemon, and it came from Four Winds Growers. It's got one single lemon on it. That'll be the first lemon we get off of it. This here is our key lime. It's not the thornless version. It's got plenty of thorns on it. And this has probably been our best producer. And some of those limes look like they're starting to ripen. They can all be used now. So when they ripen, they'll turn kind of yellow like the lemons when they're fully ripe. But that came from a local nursery right here in North Carolina called Rabbit Ridge Nursery in Coach, North Carolina. So, and I got that just almost 2 years ago. I think it was in like October of 2022. And this one here I got last year from Home Depot. And this is a thornless key lime. And you can see plenty of fruit on there, and some of it looks like it's starting to break color too and turn yellow. So they are pretty much ready to be used. And here is our Rio Red grapefruit, bought at the same time we got this thornless key lime, I believe. And it's got 3 grapefruits on it. There's one right there, and this one's actually starting to break color, as you can see a little bit. It looks like to me anyway. And then another one right here. So that's 3. So we got 3 Rio Red grapefruit. Then here's our Bear's lime or Persian lime, either way, and some of these look like they're starting to break color. There's several on here. We get plenty of those. These are the ones that look more like they're starting to turn a little yellow for us. And so normally you use a lime when it's green anyway. I think they get a little bit sweeter when they turn yellow though. And so here, it's a little tiny 3-gallon pot with a 3-foot long moringa drumstick with seed pod. I don't really know exactly when you're supposed to harvest it. If somebody that grows moringa should I just let it stay on there till it dries? I don't know. Take it off now? I'm not sure. But to be in such a little pot, it's kind of amazing to have that big bean pod. Uh, it's not even rooted into the ground, I don't believe. Still, it's got a little bit of roots maybe coming out. Let's see. Yeah, maybe just a little bit, but not as much as you might think. Right behind it, that's our Owari Satsuma, and some of those are definitely looking like they're starting to break color. Let's come around here this way. But yeah, there's plenty of them on there, and like that right there, I can tell it's already starting to get a little hint of orange to it. And since this was going to be our plant propagation video, I guess I'll probably go ahead and pull them out. But right behind there is our pineapple guava that started out as one plant, and we separated them on a video a little while back, and they're both doing great there. Here's another one of our Meyer lemons, and this is the one that came from Home Depot in 2022. So it's got lemons on it. There's one right there, decent sized one, a couple back here, one there. This one gave us like 37 lemons last year. We've got about 7 or 8 this year. Some that aren't even quite as far along as the others. Then here's our Trevita orange. And once we make this harvest, we're going to probably get it in a bigger pot because it's hard to keep it watered. It's been in there since 2022 as well. But it is loaded down with oranges. And some of them are starting to break color. You can see right along the top of that one. But we got oranges, several of them in here. Can't wait till they fully ripen. Some back in there. And I think that's pretty much it for all the existing fruit we got that's going to be harvested this year. Right here's our carambola or star fruit. I had to up-pot it. It was in one of these nursery pots that had a hole in the bottom, and it had actually grown through and rooted into the ground, so had to get in a little bit bigger pot. So it went from a number 7 nursery pot to now it's in a number 10 nursery pot. It hadn't fruited for us yet, but it did form a little star fruit earlier this year, but it fell off. I'm hopeful that we might get a star fruit this next round, so it's covered with blossoms. When you get in there close, you see there's one down there that's open even. I'm hopeful. And before we move on to our propagated trees to look at them, might as well take a quick look at our avocado. So that's our day avocado. Still these two anyway are in number 7 nursery pots. We haven't had any fruit for us yet in the containers. That's what we're hoping for. So the citrus has been no problem to get it to fruit in the 7-gallon or number 7 nursery pot. I don't know about the avocados. We'll just have to see. I think I'm going to up pot this one because that's one of those containers that has a hole in the bottom. And as you can see, this is a pretty substantial tree here. That one too as well. That's our day avocado right there. And then this one is our little cado, or also called a Wirtz avocado. And this one has been through a lot, but it's come along pretty good. We've had that since May of 2022. If you look down here real close, you guess it's around here. Right there. So right here, that little scar, that's where the original leader was on this tree. But back in December 2022, we had a failure, power failure in our greenhouse. Got down to about 18 degrees for 3 hours. And the tree survived, but it died. I didn't think it was going to. All the growth that was on the tree died back, and a new shoot came out from right there. The graft is down here, so it still works. But surprisingly, it came back, and now it's what? Take the container away, it's still over 3 feet tall. So that's pretty good. Behind it is our fantastic avocado tree, and that's still in the 3 ground. We still got plans to try to get that planted in the ground somewhere. We've been waiting for the grafts to heal up on these, and on this one and the one over there, which is the Brazos Bell is the other one. I couldn't think of the name. This one's the fantastic, and that graft is pretty well healed up now, so I'm gonna get it through the winter, and then we'll probably plant it in the ground somewhere. And then this one, not quite as advanced, but the graft is definitely healed up well down here. This is the Brazos Bell, sometimes called a Wilma, and the fantastic actually is sometimes called the Prior, but I'm pretty sure anyway. But anyway, right here behind me, so that's a propagated plant. It's pineapple top. Started way back in February 2022. Still hasn't ever given us a pineapple, but it's super healthy. Here, let's put this 5-gallon bucket right next to it, and you see how big it is. It's big. That's a 5-gallon bucket. And while we're here at this 5-gallon bucket, if you look down in there, that's citrus tree cuttings. And actually, some of them I have no clue what they are, because I put them in there a couple weeks ago, I think, and forgot about them. But a couple of those have been in this bucket for months, and I've dumped the water, filled it back in, and kept meaning to get to it. And I had planned on trying to root some of these cuttings, but just never got around to it. So this one right here looks like it's about dried out and done for. It lasted a long time, but really there's still a lot of green right there. I'm about to show you something that makes me think this probably could survive. But anyway, this other one that I'm about to show you was put in this bucket the exact same time. And I'm going to say it had to have been in like June, somewhere around there. But so this is a cutting from that Lisbon lemon. It's been sitting here in this bucket, like I said, for months. You look right there, that's fresh, nice, healthy new growth. But look at this. It's been sitting in this bucket all this time in water, and it is rooted. So, I mean, that's pretty good little chunk of roots going on down there. Let's see if it'll focus a little bit better. So, that's how easy it is to root citrus cuttings. It surprised me. I didn't know that it would root in water, but several of them didn't, but that one did. So it just goes to show you, you don't need a bunch of fancy setup to root a citrus cutting. And so anyway, let's go over here and look at our propagated trees, and then we'll take a look at this pomegranate. Still got it here. It was in my pocket. I ain't forgot about it. So first thing I'm going to show you is, don't ever give up on the cutting until it turns brown and dries up on you. And here's why. So if you've watched any of my videos, you may have even noticed this little solo cup in the background. I don't think I ever even mentioned what it was. And what it is a cutting from the US 942. And it was taken back on March 24th of this year. And it's been in this cut for since then. So that's 6 months ago. and I was about to give up on it, but it stayed green, so I just left it in there. And now all it is in is seed starting mix, some inexpensive seed starting mix. I think came from Walmart. But anyway, and then I topped it off with some perlite on the top, but didn't put no dome over it, like no kind of clear plastic or anything like that, trying to make a humidity dome or anything like that. It's been outside most of this time. I think for the first few weeks it was in the house because it was still a risk of frost, but after that it's been out here, and most of the time sitting right there where it's sitting now. Anyway, a couple of days ago I noticed we got new growth. There you go. So when I took this cutting off to US 942, which I have planted in the ground now that I took this from, but at the time this cutting had no leaves or anything on it, so this whole time it's just been a twig sitting in this soil. You can see it's just soil, and it rooted. It's growing new growth, so I think that one is going to be a successful rooted cutting. But anyway, let's go over here and right here. Let's just start looking at all of our rooted cuttings. Some of these we did on camera, and just see where they're at. So this was the key lime. I think we did 4 in that video, and I believe this was back in like maybe June of last year. I think, I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but we did this on video for sure, and together. And so that's the key lime cutting, and it was pretty slow to get started as well. Not quite as slow as that US 942, but it was slow. And there were 4 of them, and we only had one of them survive. So the success rate on those key limes wasn't that great, but same method, just started them all in soil. The other 3 actually started to uh, show signs of rooting, but then I left them in a spot where they got too much sun and they didn't make it. But this one here, it actually needs to be up potted now. It's already got some lignified wood down there. This is well on its way. It'll be ready to produce key lime for us probably this next year. And then right here are the Trevita orange we did on cam together, and that was back in November 6th of 2022. And they were just same little 4-inch cuttings. You can see all 4 of them still alive. Haven't produced any fruit for us. This one here has been getting chewed on by bugs a little bit, but it's still fairly healthy. They probably should be up potted. They've been in these containers for quite some time. So here's this one. Here's this one. All nice and healthy. Some of them don't really have that much of lignified wood so much yet, but still nice and healthy. This one as well. All still alive. So those are the Trevita orange, and haven't given us any fruit yet, but all 4 of them rooted and still alive. Now here's the stars. So these are 5 here, and these are all Meyer lemons. So our biggest one over here was started way back in, I think, June of 2022, and there was 2 started then. One of them got killed off in December 2022 when we had that power outage and our greenhouse went down to 18 degrees, and one of them survived. And through that, actually, these four cuttings and these 4 here as well were in the process of rooting. They hadn't rooted yet, but they made it through that storm and cold weather. So let's start with this one right here. The oldest, in June of 2022 was when the cutting was taken, I believe. And look, it's only in a, I don't even think that's a 3-gallon. I think that's really a 2-gallon. 2 lemons there. 3, that's starting to show signs of coloring up. 4, 5, 6. So 6 lemons on that little plant. Started out as a 4-inch cutting. Oh, and during that cold weather, while this one did survive, it actually got killed back all the way to within an inch of the soil, but then came back from that, and all this grew. So it's a survivor. And behind it are ones that I did not on camera, but you saw them a week later on camera. These were done on October 30th, 2022. All of them took. All of them need to be up potted, really. So here's one. You see, could stand to have some pruning. Hadn't pruned anything off of these, actually. There's this one. This one here. And as you can see, it's actually had a lemon form on it that's going to actually hold and ripen up. It'll be probably, I'm going to say February, March, probably before that one ripens. But it's doing good. And then here, this one here, yeah, it's actually got a full-size lemon on it. Started the same time as those. So from cutting to a lemon, well, by the time we actually harvest this lemon, it'll be the full 2 years. That ain't too bad. I mean, growing fruit trees is a game of patience, but overall, from starting at that little 4-inch cutting to that, ain't bad. And even that one behind it's only just a few months older and doing fantastic. That, I think the video's starting to drag on. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. Y'all don't let me forget. We need to do our pomegranate. I think I'm going to put the camera on a tripod and set it up. So let me pause the video and get that done. All right, got the camera turned around. I think I'm just gonna, since it's already cracked, I'm just gonna pull it open right there where it's cracked at, and let's just see what it looks like inside. Bring it up there for you. Good. That looks like a ripe pomegranate. Mm-hmm. Definitely right. So this first time I tried the one that wasn't ripe the other day. One thing I'll say about this variety, it's a Crimson Sky. The name, I mean, it tastes all right, but the seeds are pretty big. Not bad though. You have to eat them like a muscadine or something and spit the seeds out. But see if we can open this up a little more and reveal some of that inside a little bit more for you. There's a few of them that are close to where the crack's at. Don't look the best. I mean, overall, there we go. That's a good, should be a good little view of what they look like in there. Yeah, I mean, first year, not too bad. We planted them in the ground in April of 2022. So they've been through a couple winters. Now, if they leaf out early, get a frost, it'll burn those leaves off, and then it seems to have no problem coming back from it. Matter of fact, that's why we got two, because I planted one in the ground a little early, and it got burnt back by the frost, and I thought it killed it, but I didn't dig it up. But I went ahead and bought another one and planted it right next to it, and then what do you know, it came back. So anyway, with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the video right here. Thank y'all for watching. Till next time, be kind and enjoy your day.